Hi Srijani, how are you?
I'm well. What about you, Mansi?
I'm good too. So we'd like to congratulate you for completing the foundation program. Thank you so much for taking your students through this journey.
Thank you for the entire team. It was a very smooth process.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us something about yourself before we dive into the program.
So right now I am a social science teacher. I've been teaching grade 8, 9, 10th in Azadpur, Delhi. And yeah, I have like undergrad in economics and then development studies and been working with TFI for the last 1 year.
Okay, nice. And what excites you about teaching?
I think just like, so I love adding value to people's life. And what better way than teaching, right? Education is like the most valuable thing. I love conducting sessions and, just taking a class, being on the floor, taking doubts. Love that.
Yeah, great, nice. So can you tell us something about your students?
Yeah, so there are around 55 plus 33 plus 40 students, like total 128 students across grade 8 to 10, and they are mainly from the Azadpur community, which is like the largest vegetable selling place in Delhi right now. And most of them are first generation learners. Like we did a survey a month back just to collect some data, and we got around 76% of them are first generation learners, so which was a big chunk. And many of them did not have access to device, but right now they do have, like, post the entire tab distribution, they have some access to device, they are willing to learn, they want to grow. But there's a huge gap, grade to gap to grade, and we are just trying to bridge it, like just trying to add droplets to the entire ocean. Yeah.
And what excites the students the
I think they love meeting new people and knowing about new things. They love playing games, and whenever we say that today we'll play something rather than studies, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, today we'll meet some new didi or new bhaiya, and we'll learn about this." They'll be like, "Okay, okay, maza aayega, maza aayega." They also have
most?
started practicing, languages by themselves using some Duolingo app or something. They started practicing Korean, Japanese, and they keep
Wow.
on sending me. I know I don't know the meaning of it. You also need to send me the translation.
Nice. Okay, that's like really interesting. So, why did you sign up for the foundation program?
Yeah, so I think when I came across the opportunity, I like just felt that my girls need it. Most of my students, as I've already mentioned, are first generation learners. They do not have women role models to look up to. Plus, their exposure to careers or different areas of work is very limited. Like, many of them will only say teacher, doctor, or police, because these are the professions that they see on a regular basis. My entire dream was that they'll get to meet new people, know about new professions and avenues, which usually, see, even I didn't know about cinematography as much as, I got to know post the session.
Yeah, with
Like,
Mika.
there were
Yeah.
many, yeah, with Mihika, yes. I think there were many things which I didn't know. And my students, it was completely new for them. And their interest in all these fields grew. They also learned new words like cinematography, they learned. Then again, baking, sushi, they searched about sushi.
That was Khushi's
Then,
session, right?
yes, Kushi session. And I think with Kushi, they got super inspired because she's very young. तो दे वर लाइक अगर दीदी 12th में होके कर सकती है तो हम तो उससे ज्यादा बड़े ज्यादा
Yeah,
बड़े नहीं है हमसे. So it's
yeah.
like, yeah, that was super inspiring. And even for Siddhi session, so I think Siddhi was not part of this program, but I took a session with Prerna's Chabiganj Delhi. there was some issue, so she was not able to facilitate. So I facilitated that session. I brought in my girls also, and they loved. They were like, "Didi, US में अकेले कैसे रहती है?" She's a maths professor at Pennsylvania, and they were like, "दीदी आपको maths इतना अच्छा लगता है, आप कहाँ पढ़ने चले गए?" So yeah, I think just knowing that there's a world beyond that, whatever, because when we are in school we live in a bubble, right?
Yeah.
School, ghar, community, friends, just knowing the world beyond, and also seeing that if others can make it, I think that
Mm.
motivates us. So that was,
Yeah.
I think, my number, like first was just giving them the exposure to different things, and second was the motivation that we get when we see someone else doing it. And just talking to them, if I see Mansi is doing something, I can feel कि हाँ अगर मानसी कर सकती है मैं भी कर सकती हूँ. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So, what has been your most, favorite anecdote from the program with the students?
Oh my god, I think there were many, and
You can
so
say them
there was
all.
Pooja
I
ma'am.
mean, I have time.
There was Pooja ma'am's session. She is a journalist, right? And then a student asked something like, "How do you keep your perspective or bias outside from what you're writing?" And ma'am was like, "This is a
Wow.
question which was such a deep question. Which class are you in?" And the girl was like grading. Even I was surprised that they've been asking such questions like. We think ये बच्चे हैं, they उनका, we think they don't think about all this, but then these are also things which I think from the society they get to see, and that's why it just comes up. I love that. And so it was also this session with uh, I forgot her name, the fashion Shivani,
Shivani
fashion
Way.
designer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, fashion design, apparel designer. So I think Ananya, my student, she also makes doll clothes, and then she was like, "Didi, I'll show you," and she showed. And Shivani was so impressed. She was like, "This is so good. I love seeing this," and it was great. Again, even Urvashi's session was very insightful about YouTube, and we again had collaborated. I think collaborative sessions were pretty good because uh, students there were students from Adarsh Nagar who were asking questions, and then I saw my students getting insights from that. Oh, nice question, and they were doing in the
Mm.
chat, nice question. तुमने ये पूछा, अच्छा किया. I think that
Nice. Okay.
interaction was
Yeah.
also good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was super fun. And me getting the chance to collaborate, I think once with Madiha for Urvashi's session
Yeah.
and once with Prerna for Siddhi's session was also great because um, we had like two sets of students asking different questions coming from different communities, and it again gives them a push.
Did they enjoy it
I
being with?
think they did.
Yeah.
They did, and I could see that in the chat box, right? They're pushing each other. Oh, nice question. This came in my mind also. So just
Yeah.
they had fun. Yeah,
Yeah, that's nice to know. I think we should kind of have a framework where we do allow for this more often. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think
inside
I did put that in the feedback
the
form also. That
feedback.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do sessions wherein they collaborate, because that one thing they're learning from the facilitator obviously, but then I think kids learn a lot from their peers, right? So if they see someone else, so they'll also be like, हाँ हम भी पूछते हैं, and that
Mm-hmm.
gives the
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So, what has been your experience of the Wonder Girls Foundation program as a teacher?
um so I think I have seen the growth of knowledge about different professions. As I said that we have limited professions that we see, but once they got to meet so many things, they also saw these as professions which can be materialized, if we say. For example, if I'm talking about Urvishi's YouTuber, they know there's YouTube. I've just started. A few of them have started YouTube channels. They're making,
What? Can you
uh,
please share it with
yeah,
me?
I don't have the link to it, but I just saw one of them saying ki, what are you doing now? They've graduated class 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So uh, they're asking in the group to each other only, what are you doing to pass time? One of them is like, I'll make something and upload in my YouTube channel. If I get the
Wow.
link, I'll send it to you.
Yes, can you please ask them, because right now when we're kind of speaking to teachers, we're getting to hear, such incidences. And like another,
Yeah.
student, she kind of created some art. Another student has basically, reached out to a designer. So, I think that really, it's nice for us to just see what students are doing after kind of, being in the program.
True, true. And I think students who were very regular, I noticed this, students who were regular, some of them were irregular. I'll accept that. They attended a few. They thought this is the profession. It matches to, it aligns to my liking. I'll attend and then I won't attend. But students who attended session irrespective of alignment, I've seen them also having some views like, okay, this is also something I can explore later on.
Yeah, yeah,
I I don't know after which session one of my students was like, पहले she was like मुझे doctor ही बनना है, doctor ही बनना है. And she said me, Didi, I'm also thinking about physiotherapy also. I'll search about that also. I was like, very good. You search everything. I want you all to search. So just knowing, I have seen the you know there's also the willingness to know that
yeah,
also develops when you meet others कि ओ ये दीदी सिनेमेटोग्राफी करती है, ठीक है, फिर इसके साथ एडिटिंग भी होता है, there's something like this also. So just exploring and
yeah,
yeah, I've seen that
yeah,
growth.
yeah, yeah. So, what would you say has been the impact on the students?
In terms of impact, I think one, again, breadth of knowledge, and second, uh, just uh, push that you get when you see someone doing well in that sector. That does, and especially women. One thing I really liked about the Wonder Girl, Wonder Girls program was, I don't know if you're doing it in co-ed classrooms, but
Yeah, we
for
are.
you are for co-ed for girls, all girls classroom, I think just having women to see or to look up to, like didi kar sakte, because I think one of the common questions which came across all the sessions we had was, what was the role of your family?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen that a family plays a very big role, especially for women. In case if we want to do anything which is unconventional, the question of family comes up, and more so for us. And just seeing, for example, Khushi's, I remember she said her mother taught her how to make sushi, then she did it on her own. Her mother used to help her out when she had too much homework. Her sister used to help her out. Uh, so just knowing that yes, families do support things like that. For Shivani's case, I think she and her brother are working
Brother.
together.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So just knowing that families do support. It's not that uh, you can convince, you can talk to them, you can tell them. Uh, there will be struggle. I think also hearing about struggle, that struggle is real, and but it has a fruit, right? Just saying ki,
yeah,
uh, it will lead to something, it will lead to a result. For example, I think Pooja did talk about writing, and there was a lot of how men dominate in the journalism ki duniya mein. And but then again, she has reached a point, right? It has been through struggle, but it shows that if you're
of course.
struggling, you
Yeah,
can reach. Yeah. So I think the optimism or the hope, I think, will be a very big word which has been,
yeah,
instilled in my students. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. These are just like really powerful stories. Thank you for sharing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so, would you recommend our program to other teachers?
Sure, sure. There's no doubt to that. Obviously, I would. I was going to reach out to you, Mansi, if you have any other program going on. I would love my present 10th batch because they're just going into 10th. To love for them to explore. I would have
Yeah,
reached out to if there's
yeah,
any possibility मैं फिर से कर लूंगी हमारे स्कूल को फिर से करा लेंगे स्टूडेंट्स कम रीच आउट टू मी दीदी कोई पोएट भैया नहीं आए पोएट दीदी नहीं आई लाइक फिर से आएंगे अभी नहीं अभी
yeah,
हो गया है
yeah.
खत्म विल कम लेटर
That's really nice that they still want to meet more people. I think that's a great sign. You can sign up
yes
again in the coming academic year. We're gonna launch it again. So
I
yeah,
am going to
we're waiting. Oh, so what did the students have to say about it? Like, did you kind of have a word with them?
yes I did I think more than words like I did gather some testimonials like once I was doing it no so more than words I think it comes in their actions or in their questions I could see the growth
Yeah,
right
yeah,
I did see them taking steps them referring to didis them referring to array someday I just had a random conversation about maths being very scary and they were like सिद्धि दीदी पता है हम यूएस गई है करने telling things like that
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
wow they remember and they're
yeah,
making connections.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just in terms of the actions I've seen a growth and they loved it they still ask for more didis and more professions they're
Mm-hmm.
like we want to know more or ये वो दीदी इनको बुलाना उनको बुलाना
Mm-hmm.
एक वन ऑफ देम चली मैं दीदी किसी लॉयर दीदी को बुलाना ना लाइक हाँ वेट होगा फिर से
Nice, yeah. So you said that you also saw growth in the kind of questions they were asking. So what is that, if you can elaborate on that?
Sure. So, what happens is when they see, usually what happens, they'll ask questions about, Didi, I want to become a teacher. And so the questions are related to fields which we know or which they know of. Now they also talk about or ask questions like, Didi, एडिटिंग में भी हुए ना दीदी रील्स वगैरह बना के भी कुछ हो सकता है लाइक just knowing and even I think post urvashi session they were like youtube can become but the struggle is real didi had a job तो दो
Yeah,
चीजें
balance
मैनेज करना बैलेंस या
becoming real.
yes I think I think one of them also told me ki, Didi, if even if I make something like a YouTube channel or something, I'll also need a full-time job. So I need to study for that also. So I think their questions in terms of just the curiosity level has also increased. I think it sparks, right? More the entire purpose I felt for the session was to spark the conversation because they had so many queries and so many things. The 1 hour maybe cannot, fulfill it, but the main work is post the session. They just have the curiosity to google search क्या
Mm-hmm.
है one day there was like post puja session I remember one girl told me दीदी पता है पूजा दीदी so famous I googled her बहुत famous है दीदी I was like that's the reason दीदी was there giving you a talk
So do you feel like they're kind of using the search engine more? Yeah,
yes I think using keywords too, right? For example, if they are hearing about sushi, they'll Google. I'm someone who loves knowing about culture, and I would want my students to know more about it. So they'll say, "Didi, वो शिनचैन में खाते हैं," and making connections कि अरे
yeah,
चावल से
yeah,
बनता है and everything.
yeah,
And I think post each session I felt that yes, their just willingness to learn. See, there are out of the 128 students, I know only few attend. Right, the attendance is a big issue in normal classes and anything, given the entire virtual scenario. But all those who have attended, that gives me hope. Ki their growth gives me hope.
yeah,
Ki ho sakta hai. And then it will
yeah,
have a ripple effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about the grade 10 students? Like, do you think they're thinking about their 11th and 12th in a different way?
Um, so So our school does not, to be honest, does not give many options. There's only arts. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so many students, given their financial condition, cannot shift to another school and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
um, they have to like choose. For others, I think also giving there has been a motivation that arts, taking up arts can also do you good. I think one another student is Khushi. She writes poems and everything, and I think she was quite regular in all the sessions, and she is someone who I think has gained a bit more confidence. Yes, taking up humanities is also fine. I can do well post that. It's
Yeah.
not necessary. Um, Again, I think for fashion designing, I think they realize that maths is so important. Earlier they used to just think, because we never we think it's more about drawing and the
Mm.
capacity to think creatively. Sorry, but just using maths and making the entire calculation, that realization. Pooja's session, I think, made them realize how crucial, it's important that you have a subject, but it's not the end. For example, I think she did history. Post that she shifted to mass comm, right? So that's also a way. If you're doing something else right now, you just need to practice writing. So your writing skill needs to be good.
Mm.
Talking
Mm.
about skills and
Yeah.
continuously practicing it, that did have an impact. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I think all in all, it's been good then.
Yeah, it has been a great experience. Like, as a teacher, obviously, I have learned so much about so many professions, and I have seen growth in my students. What else do we want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Do you have any concluding thoughts?
Not any. Again, I would love to sign up for the next session as well. Um,
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring in more, and we'll have more fun, more just getting to know more people, and for
Yeah.
my students to know about more professions.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also did tell them that they can search on YouTube about wondergirls.com, and then they'll
There
get
are
to see
many.
other
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, the live experience is always much better.
Yeah.
So
And why do you
I
think
would,
life experience is better?
because then you can ask your own questions, right? For example, if you're watching a video, then yes, some of the questions you may resonate with, but then if you are there in the call, uh, you also have a sense of power. Yes, I can raise
Hmm.
hands and ask a question. It
Hmm.
gives, it empowers you
Yeah.
more. um, yeah.
Okay. Thank
Plus it's more real, like you're writing in the
you.
chat
Yeah.
box and you're seeing
Yeah. Real time makes a difference.
your real times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for the call. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for enrolling. And we look forward to working with you in the next academic year as well.
Thank you, Mansi. I really hope that Wonder Girls does really, really well. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your wishes.
Thank you.